Hello, good evening, everyone. In case you can hear me, um, how many people do we have in here? All right. Well, sorry, I may have to call your name by the ones I'm able to pronounce. I could see David and Gordon. I think the other one is not too clear. Then I could see Gospel. All right. So, can you say hello, please? Let's be sure you can hear me before we start the class.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening. Good to see. Oh, yeah, it's an honor. All right, so Gordon, can you please say hello? Okay. All right, so um who else is there? Gospel? Okay, David. That's fine too. Okay, good evening. That's okay. Um yeah, okay, Gordon, that's okay too. Well, it's an English section. Oh, okay. Yes, I apologize. I think I had some trouble with my network. All right, so we're back. I've got to see. Okay, I've met David, and I'm afraid in case I didn't pronounce the name correctly, maybe this is sorry. This Matilda. Did I pronounce the name correctly? I could see Golden. All right, so thank you. So let's resume the section. I was about sharing my screen before I had that trouble with my network. Okay, all right, that's okay. Thank you. Now, foremost, I'm going to share with you the syllabus. We're going to read that. It's going to guide us for this section. We have a syllabus, and we hope it's really going to help us. Then don't forget that we have a limited section for this class, which means we would definitely not be able to cover a lot of a lot of things. I wouldn't say a lot of important things. We won't be able to cover a lot of stuff. But then let's focus on the major ones. You'll be able to see my screen shortly. Okay, good. That's fine. So if you look at what you have on the screen right here, it's represent what I prepared for this section. Now, the first thing we have here talks about the papers, and I'm sure you guys are also familiar with these. All right, so I need to move a little bit faster because I wasted about 5 minutes. Okay, so paper one, you have about three sections there. And I'm sure we're familiar with this section where you get five different questions and you are required to answer just only one. There'll be five questions for you, and you're only required to answer just one. You have the option of maybe deciding to take upon yourself the letter question, the article question, the speech question, the story question, and then the essay question. Now, you also have a question that corresponds with them. What that simply means is for the letter, you have a WAHEC question. All the questions you have there, I've extracted them from your past question paper 2025. So they are very recent, 2025 questions. So you have gained admission to a university abroad, but your father insists you study in your country. Write a letter to him giving at least three reasons why he should allow you to study abroad. So that's a letter, it's a simple question. I mean, it's the dream of a lot of people to travel overseas. But of course, we can also relate just the way, you guys are also, as a matter of fact, you begin to seek admission. You want to be admitted in maybe IMSU, UNN, and all of those things. All right. But then this is also interesting. Now, somebody got an offer overseas, but the father insists you've got to study in Nigeria. So he needs to write a letter to his dad trying to convince him, okay, trying to convince him about allowing him to study overseas. Then you have the article. Write an article suitable for publication in your school. Now, never mind, even though you have the word suitable for publication, the most important thing is you're asked to write an article. So, do you know how to write an article? If you have not learned how to write one, then we may have to teach you how to do that. Okay, so it says on the need to establish school farms and gardens. Now, in some schools, I'm very much familiar with some schools in Lagos. Some of the big schools, they've got a farm and a garden. So students who are interested in agriculture can then learn about farming in their own school. So they can learn about all of these things right there in their school compound. Then we have a speech. An example of a speech, just like what I'm having here, we can call it a presentation, but it's also a speech. Um, I don't know, maybe one of you might have been appointed as a prefect in your school, or familiar with the head boy, the head girl, the library prefect, the food prefect, and all of those things. Okay. So the question says you have been recently elected as a senior prefect of your school. Write a speech you will deliver at your inaugural ceremony, highlighting at least three areas you will pay attention to during your tenure. All right, so this is a speech, and there is a way to write it. Maybe you may decide to say, okay, that's fine. Maybe I'm going to pay attention to punctuality. A lot of students come late to school, and I want to focus on that. You may want to pay attention to you may want to pay attention to discipline. Maybe the senior students unnecessarily met at punishment on the junior students, and you want to focus on that. Okay, so whichever one it is, all right, the most important thing is you have something you want to focus on. And number four is about story. A lot of students think that story writing is very easy because it's a story. Write a story to illustrate the saying, love conquers all. A lot of students think, oh, should be a story, it go there easy. But then they are not aware of the story techniques. There are a lot of techniques you need to put into your story. For example, your story should have what we call a twist. Your story should be descriptive enough. Your story should have the setting, the atmosphere, the tone, characterization, character profile. You see, all of this that I'm mentioning, not everyone, I mean, a lot of students are not familiar with them, but they just feel, oh, I beg I go write that story, but I say that one go day easy. It really goes beyond that. We must learn how it works. All right, and then the last one, which is essay writing. All right, so we have a persuasive essay here, and that simply means, oh, to say yes, I agree, or no, I disagree. Oh, it makes sense. It don't make sense. You are one of the speakers in a debate on the topic. Women should be Women should not be okay, sir. Please, I'm not saying the right thing. I did not come on time. Now, it doesn't matter, Daniel. I think maybe your network now. All right. Even if anyone comes in after 30 minutes, they'll be able to see. But then, just the way you have prompted me, let me ask other people if they're also having a similar problem. All right. David, Godin, Motida, please. You can actually type if you don't want to speak out. Are you having trouble seeing my screen? Because what I'm reading, it's right here on the screen. So let's know if you can see it. So we can ask Daniel to just adjust his network. Okay. No, does it mean no, you cannot see it? Or yes, you can see it, Matilda? Is it no, you cannot see it? Or yes, oh, you're seeing. Okay. David can see it. Thank you. Oh, you see, Golden can also see. So Daniel, I would just say, you know what? Um, just relog in. It might correct it. Okay, Matilda, thank you. All right. I think she can also see it. Thank you. So Daniel, maybe what you should do is you can check your network. All right. If you check your network, if it be your network, so there's no big deal at all. All right. But let me know if there is a further problem with that. Okay, so these are the five things. You will only answer one. We cannot teach all, and we do not need to deceive one another. We'll not get too much time. We can't be teaching letter article. Even learning about letter may take some time, let alone learning about article. So what I've decided to do is people will learn how to write too that I consider maybe easier and straightforward. I'll teach you how to write a letter, and I will ask you guys to make a choice. Okay, Daniel. Okay, yeah, Daniel. Um, that's okay. Mr. Hilary is also there, so I don't know. Mr. Hilary, Daniel says he couldn't see what my presentation, but every other student can see that. I suppose that should be something that should be a problem from his end. All right. So I don't know if there is you have a way to assist him with that, sir. Okay, so Daniel, we'll see what Mr. Hilary will do for you. Okay, so we have okay, so that's it. We will not be able to teach everything. We will just look at like, okay, what I'm going to just learn how to write letter. Letter is straightforward. Or maybe letter and opinion or essay or article. We're just going to teach you to. I don't think we will have that time to teach you everything. We won't be able to do that. Okay. Now, I've talked to you about that is the first thing that will happen. You see, I didn't start this class by talking to you about the objectives because you see, those ones they don't really carry much marks. We don't get that time. That's the truth. Now, section B, there's going to be a comprehension. I'm sure we're all familiar with that. So there will be a passage. There's something you have to read, and then you answer some questions. The passage is a little bit long, sometimes maybe 7 paragraphs. We'll go read them. It is interesting sometimes. Sometimes the paragraph is not that interesting. But the most important thing is you can answer the questions. Now, there are going to be 9 questions in all, which means once you're done reading the passage, 9 questions are going to wait for you. Now, there is one of these questions that we call recalling questions. Now, in plenty pass. You see, these recalling questions, it will run from A to F. There are going to be 6 of them. What does it mean? It means that why are you going to try to test your knowledge? Sure, if you remember what you don't read. So I'm left behind here. I don't know how to see the writing. Okay. Okay. David, just to be sure. Okay, just to be sure. I know it's something that relates to, it's a technical issue at your end, but to be sure, I'm going to stop this presentation, then I'll bring it back. So my screen is obvious now. Everybody see what I present, so I go stop them, can't do them again. So let's see whether that will help you. So if it doesn't, you will still be saying on your network. Now, as it is, I've stopped presenting. I've stopped my presentation. Nobody will see anything. I don't put anything for my screen again. So I'm going to return to status quo, and that means I'll go back to my slide now. So I've gone back to my slide. Now, you don't do, okay, oh, not this one. Okay, so I've gone back to my slide now. I'll just wait after some seconds and I'll ask some of you guys if you can still see my screen. So if Daniel can still not see it, Daniel will be saying on your network. David, can you confirm if you can see my screen back? Hoodie, can you confirm? Matilda, can you confirm if you can see my screen back? You can type it. Oh, okay. See, Lucas said yes. Thank you, Lucas. Okay, Gordon said yes. So Daniel, if you don't say now, my network will still be on. Thank you, Matilda. You say yes. All right. So Daniel, you just check. If you don't still see them, maybe go try change that network. Gospel also said yes. All right. So let's go on. So one of the questions is called figurative question. Figurative question. I don't maybe say they go say the expression above. What is the grammatical name of the underlined expression? Grammatical name. Or what is yes? What is grammatical name? Oh, sorry, that's grammatical name. So figurative expression. Yeah. So what figure of speech is used in the above expression? Maybe it's simile, metaphor, alliteration, personification. The ones where they come on past now, personification, simile, metaphor, yeah, irony, those ones they come on. Onomatopoeia somehow, okay, alliteration, no, they today come on because they're easy. Consonants, assonants, all those ones, they know that they come on. Okay, they know that they come on. All right, so but then we're going to try because you are going to come across that. Then you have grammatical question. Now that one go actually say what's be the grammatical name, and by as such, the questions is they ask you whether that's in a phrase or a clause. And we don't teach on our class phrase or clause. You have noun phrase, adjectival phrase, adverbial phrase, nominal clause or noun clause, adjectival clause, adverbial clause. Okay, those ones are then they come on. Prepositional clause say they, but you know they common. Prepositional phrase they, you know they common. Gerund phrase, gerund clause, you know they common. Those that I've mentioned, adjective, noun, and adverbia, now that they common. Okay, so you're going to learn a little bit about it. I hope so we will get the time. All right, but time no day. Those are way you on need to know. Even if you, I don't know, even if you have your school um allows, even if your school decides to cheat through the exam, like they won't tell on an answer, they don't go feel right letter for everybody. Oh. So those ones will be say go be say, now only you go sabi, now only now your hand the day. So I will try teach you all of those things in case because I don't know how your school works. And I don't even know how that works these days. But I know, of course, it's a depraved situation. Nigeria they corrupt, so anything goes. So I don't know if that happens in your school. In case it does, now so in case it does, well, no be they no go feed you letter for everybody. No make sense. Even summary, if they do summary for everybody, then go just kill on her. And then I'm saying I go fail. All the people go fail because summary they unique. Everybody now go summarize the own thing. How you're going to structure yours is not the way I'm supposed to structure mine. So you can imagine 20, in fact, if three people use the same summary script, now voila, how much more the entire students, like maybe 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, they use it. Now voila, you can write the same letter, you can write the same summary. So things like that are what I have considered very important for you guys. Then for half time, a little bit of the objectives and all of those things. Now, this word replacement, you see, word replacement, how to replace word. If you're familiar with your past questions, you know that one self, it will show, where some words are on the line. Okay, some words are going to be on the line, and you'll be asked to think about another word to replace them. That's in get rules. Oh. You get and they replace them. You get rules. You get rules. So we're going to teach on how the rules. All right. So if you imagine, say, 30 people in their class, they give on the same synonyms. Examiner not be mumuna, you can know say what they happen. How 30 people go use the same word, they replace the same word. You see, so you have to learn how those things work. So there are some of them you have to take very seriously yourself, because depending on, let's say, depending on righteous help, so to speak, in the exam, would rather even put you in more trouble. Okay, so section C, summary writing. How do they take summarize? That why you know so they go say make you summarize. Oh. Now all these things now, then they compulsory. You can imagine 30 people in their class, then give on the same summary. It don't make sense now. Even though you say you be examiner, you don't go no say that school now Momu school. 30 people using the same summary. And it don't make any sense. But then what do they want to do? They go write 30 summary. They're not going to be write 30 summary forever. So you see, you have to learn that one. So there are things you have to just learn how to do yourself. Because if you decide to take to what, let's say, like I've mentioned, I don't know the kind of skill you guys have. If you decide to take to, the kind of feeding, let's say you get the answers, they give on our runs. Okay, go still make sense, go work. Everybody knows supposed to do the same thing for some questions. So a question like that might be this summary. Everybody knows supposed to do the same thing. In fact, the person will do your side, if they do the same thing with you, you won't put it for Wala. So some questions do like that where you say, oh more, everybody go do your. And one of them is that summary. One of them is that word replacement. Okay. All right. No Wala. So now let's look at paper 2, which is the objectives. Now for the objectives, now like these are the arrange the questions. We have the question types, and then we have the question types, and then we have the sections. Then go first start with antonyms. That is ways that are opposite in meaning. What get opposite now? White and black, something like that. Happy and sad. What get opposite? Courageous and fearful. So you have 10 words. You go get the sentences. With the use of past question, you can understand whether they talk. And so 10 words are going to be underlined. You'll be asked to pick an option that is nearly opposite in meaning to them. Now those 10 questions you go first face for objective. Now all this one now, everybody go do the same thing. So if they bring runs, Baba, everybody do the same thing, no wahala. Because I know if we choose if the opposite of white na black, I know if we say because everybody choose black, I know choose black na answer. So that's why I said so there are areas when we come to those very sensitive areas, you have to be very, very serious. That one, you go the do so you go copy with everybody copy on a wahala. This objective I've said is everybody, of course, everybody can have the same answers. Why not? But even at that too, but no wahala. Nobody say why a man cannot go no. Why everybody go fail number 4? 30 people fail number 4. What happened? So almost everybody, because you guys have used the same material, you have used the same, so to speak, the same runs. Now it's all of them are going to fail the same question, or are going to get the same thing. The man can mumu, you know, be mumu now, you go no say what happened. Why everybody go fail the same thing, everybody go get the same thing. You see, so sometimes we know they think about these things, say or more. They make sense. So Mark supposed to know, say, the news one, they don't get any sense. 30 people go to fail the same question, they get the same thing. And at the end of the day, everybody go get, let's say everybody go get 65 over 70, 65, all the candidates 65% start Abba. What's happen? Shall you see? So all these things, is sense, first supposed to put sense. They work like that. Then after that, you have sentence completion. The question like this, they're going to put dash, dash, dash. So you have to complete the sentences. This one, if you know your English not too strong, you got to do what you like. In case runs no content, you got to choose what you like, but it not go work. So you must understand the importance of studies. If they say make you study, what they look say they know they read English. Or if you go to why you go to Jan, you know so that they read English. So you have to take your studies very seriously. You don't take them seriously, about nothing will fit you. All man for himself. So about now your WAEC result, not be our own. See, you got to do the right thing for yourself. Help yourself now. Then we have statement interpretation. This one is easier, a little bit. It comes with idioms, and then you have 4 options. Take, for example, maybe there is this question that says, I want a baker's dozen. A baker's dozen is an idiom. I want a baker's dozen. A baker's dozen is an idiom. The right options. Let me see, if you understand the meaning of baker's dozen, you're supposed to figure the answer. That's an idiom. Okay, so these are the things you'll have been exposed to. But in case you've not been exposed to them, you say you just gotta try. All right, so then we have synonyms. Okay, that's about 10 questions. I will send this material for group WhatsApp so you can pick it up and start running with them. Then we have sentence completion again for the word with 70, and then register. That one will be 10 questions. So everything now 80 questions. Okay, in case you're asking me, is it easy? I'm mobile, I say no easy. Baba, you know they're easy. Anything we good know that they're easy. Now you go there serious. What about pulling someone's leg? Yeah, now idiom sir, is an idiom. And it means to deceive someone. Okay, and so you could also interpret that as making jokes. You're just pulling the wool over their eyes. All right, so we have paper 3. Paper 3 represents test of orals. That one, people don't even like them at all. They make sense. In case runs don't come, people just choose what they didn't like for that one, and they will say, Baba God, day your hand. But nobody say Baba God now, hand it day your hand, and you go learn how that thing they work. So you have the vowel sounds, consonant sounds, the rhyme, what stress pattern, all these things. I really hope we'll have the time. And if we do have time, we'll be able to teach you. I think the whole of this intervention runs for just 6 weeks. When I say this intervention, I just 6 classes a day. I think so. In that meeting, I think that was what was discussed. But I'll find out again to be sure. That's everything I just 6 weeks. Or 6 classes, not necessarily 6 weeks. Okay. All right. So let's go on. So before we go on, we'll find out. So the thing the lesson they make sense before we go on. You can use your phone, you can text. Are you getting the presentation? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Oh yeah, no wala. Everybody on the track. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So now we already know what we're going to be dealing with. So let's start with one. So what I did today was to take you through letter writing. We got that one. Now to your tent, O Israel. All man for himself. That one everybody go to write to you on. I don't you know if you write you letter for example. And I know sure say any school go write letter for everybody. What's happen? They don't get that kind of time now. So everybody go write in letter. So it's very important. It's something you have to do yourself. So let's show you how to do it. Some things, at least, if you learn this one now, you don't try. You understand? You don't try. So let's see how to write. So I'm going to change the slide to another one, and that will be, talking to you about letter writing. If you think about letter writing, there are basically two major types. Formal letter, informal letter. Now, two major types. But I don't be say, me say semi-formal letter no day. But the difference between semi-formal letter and informal letter is very slim. So for me, when I teach, I don't hardly pronounce the semi-formal letter. I just focus on the broad classification, formal letter and informal letter. Okay, now this one won't take practice. I've already told you this is from 2025. If you have your past questions, should we try them? Okay, whether you should write what I put on the screen. Oh, don't worry. We don't really get that kind of time. But if you want jot, I'll put everything. I'll put everything on the dashboard. One, this video is being recorded. So when I'm through, in less than 24 hours, I think it's 16 hours or so, we'll post it on the dashboard. You go wash and go see everything. Best way they come. And so you build, Baba, you need to go learn that thing again and again. Watch the video. So you go relearn them. So even if there's anything you have missed, you can catch it back. You can catch it back in the video. Then 3, there's a group WhatsApp. In that group WhatsApp, I will drop these 2 materials. I created 2 materials for this section. The breakdown, which is something I've used. Now the letter writing, which is something I want to teach. I will drop the 2 for the group WhatsApp. It go day dashboard. Okay, so no wala. If you just jot small thing, because not everything. So some things they will go talk about, we start not write about. Okay, so now let's see. So this is 2025. You have gained admission to a university abroad, but your father insists that you study in your country. Write a letter to him, giving him at least 3 reasons why he should allow you to study abroad. Everybody like abroad. David, now which country you want to go? Now US, I be UK. I've been at Canada. I've been at Togo, you want to go? Canada, okay. All right, Motira, what about you? You can type on the screen. Let's see your choice countries. The golden, you guys can type on the screen. So I'm afraid in case I didn't mention your name, I'm just trying to get acquainted with those names. All right, Gospel say USA. Okay, that's fine. Who else again? Who wants to have again? The only 2 people want to travel.
USA.
Oh, okay. So I must have one go US. Daniel just won't go. Abaru, Dabi. Daniel, na Abaru, you won't go. Like say, okay, you type abroad. So which place for abroad? Now Ghana said na abroad now. Abi, I'm not be abroad. Zimbabwe said abroad now. So it depends on where you want to go, Sha. I know Allah, but don't try. So now let's go back to the class. Now what I did was Can we learn how to write a letter by reviewing a sample student script? Let us review um, a student script, the one which student don't write. More they can teach you how to write letter. That should be easier and faster instead of having to teach you from A to Z. That may not be easy. Teaching letter writing itself, I mean, it could be something you can actually run for a long time. But I think we can learn faster with a sample. So this is a sample. Learning informal letters by reviewing a sample student script. So here we're talking about informal letter. Formal letter self day, but only informal letter I prepare come. Let's learn about that. So at the end of this class, there is already a class exercise. There's already an exercise for everyone. Question D, say we go write their own. So when you write, I will have an idea of how to help you. Now, which I see, I go tell you, say, like say, you know, Sabi do this kind of thing. I come class, come teacher. But if you don't write, there is no way I can tell where you need help. So Baba make you know say you today busy. Now you get why no be me. So you go try right so we can support you. You know. All right. So let's look at most of the letter where this guy write to. Whether he write and where we don't know. But we're gonna learn from the letter. So don't forget the question. He's actually writing to his dad, and he's trying to convince his dad to let him go study overseas. So you don't want to study for Nigeria, you don't tire. So the guy starts with his address. The address on the right hand side. Babana said on the right hand. Address go to that right top hand corner. You'd have been taught to. You write your address. One thing about your address is if you imagine now, if you write the correct address, just write address. And you see the address this straight. You have to make it straight. You see that number, that 3. This one, the giver said again, which letter? Gospel, I think you need to provide me with more information. What do you mean by which letter, please? All right, Gospel, can I get to a question so I can, what do you mean by which letter? Okay, we'll go on now and until we see what the gospel they try to say. So 3, the guy who write this one, a Yoruba guy. Okay, good, thank you. So the guy who wrote this letter is a Yoruba guy. Yeah, it's informal letter, yeah. The guy who write this one, a Yoruba guy. So the guy they live, of course, trust now. And a Lagos in the live. So Yoruba addressing go right now. So the guy says 3 Niro Mujisola Street, White and Sherry Oshun. Yes. In fact, I will try and make it easier for you. Don't even bother yourself about block slanting. Just choose one. No bother yourself. Why not be where you go to show skill? Just pick the block form, which is what we have done here. The slanting form also exists, but that is just for knowledge sake. You're not going to write address twice. So just pick the one where you go use. But the one I'm training with is the block form. Okay, I don't go train with the other one because no point. The only one you go use for exam. So more use this one. So it's straight. So this is the block form. Be like block, it is straight. Okay, so 3 Niro Mujisola Street, White and Sherry Oshun, Lagos State. The guy also put dates. Baba, you must put date too, and a date will be the last thing. As I take a arranger like this, okay, where you they leave get number. If you be close, no wahala, just write down. They need what's concern with where you they live. They won't find you come. They don't get time for that one now. So the most important thing is at least you should have an address. Just I mean, you go to live for somewhere now. After all, don't be on that bridge they live. You they live for somewhere. I know they sleep for markets. So just put an address where you like. Now let's look at the most important thing about this address. The first one, so you can start jotting down now. You need to make jottings. The first thing we makes where they look for, best by where's we one marker. Me, I don't mark where. Understand? And are the right answers for some past question papers. We're on our day, and I don't know whether I'm not sure, so I could get access to Johnson publication. I mean, they write the answer key for Johnson publication. So we don't mark this thing. So we'll tell you what you would look when student write when they write their address. We'll focus on three things. Number one, the thing day where it's supposed to day. This address now is supposed to day the right hand side. Now there you day, we will check out. Then two, the use of letter case. Letter case means capital letter and small letter. Capital letter D, small letter D. The persons are being used. You know the word we're supposed to be capital. If you study this address now, look at that N. That N, a capital N. The M is a capital M. The S is a capital S. If you look at the second line, the W is a capital W. The I is a capital I. The O is a capital O. If you look at Lagos State, the L is a capital L. The S is a capital S. If you look at June, that J is a capital J. Now, see how the thing they work. The first letter of every word in your address must be capitalized. See, now most I call them. I don't know where this guy they live, where they put and. Whether they live for two places, they live for white and in cherry or shoe. Now, one place about that, you understand? The network is bad. Okay, maybe for Daniel, except we get somebody who is seconding that. All right, if nobody's seconding that, it's going to be your network. Okay, all right, so that's the first thing. Write it down, please. All right, so I beg you, write that down. When you're writing your address, know where you need to put it. The right hand side. Two, it's supposed to be straight. It should be straight. Three, capitalization. The first letter of every word should be capitalized. That's why the N in Neron, M in Moji, Sola, these are Yoruba names. I'm sure you guys may not be familiar with them, but no while my name. S for street, W for white, L for Lagos. Okay. Oh, does Mr. Larry want you guys to turn off your camera? I'll turn it on. Because I think your cameras are actually off. Okay, I can say I've not been able to say any student things. Okay. Well, please just adhere to his instructions, please. Now, so the right address. So you can use your mic now or type. When I even talk, say, so we do okay for that address now. Block letter, the right placement, and yeah, the use of capital letter and small letter, and the arrangement. Now, date could be the last thing. Okay, all right, thank you. So that is now letter and address without no wala. Now because we don't get time, everyone's supposed to write their letter most, but they're supposed to write their dates most. I don't think we don't get time. We don't get that time. And before we proceed, you also need to do what we call collaborative learning. If it's a and teach another person, you know, no matter what you get to write on that day, why not go give you 2 A's for English? They not go give you A, only one you go get. So if your friend say get another A now, it makes sense. Okay, so if you understand how it works, yeah, why not teach your friend now? Everybody do okay. Everybody do okay. So if you understand how it works, because it's a common experience. Some people will grab it faster, easier, better than the others. So be your brother's keeper. So that will not be big deal. Teach and wait till you know. Otherwise, if you do exam, you go suffer and more. The guy not gonna let you rest. They call you. And if you even copy your name, I see while I don't come. So paper, the same name, while I don't come. So, dear father, you see, don't forget this guy is writing a letter to his dad. And that's why he said, dear father. But the guy no try for that place. Nobody they call you Papa Father. For example, in this part of the world, would they call a Papa something like Dad? You know, I will always come and pass with that. So that should have maybe dear Dad. So go show, say the boy they follow him pop, see they talk. No be dear father. And no be father in the follow talk now. So it's supposed to show you have to that's what you call the recipient. The recipient of the letter. You have to indicate that kind of relationship. So the guy should have said, "Dear Dad." So when they write to Imale, it will be "Dear Mom." Don't be say "Dear Mother." You understand? And if he's writing to his friends, maybe one of his friends, it will be "Dear," then the name of that friend. Maybe the name of his friend, Amos, it will be "Dear Amos." You see, this is what we for that "Dear Amos" or "Dear Father" or "Dear Dad." We dey check just two things. Number one, should the student do using capital letter well? Look at that D. That's a capital D. Look at that F. It doesn't not be say the guy put father. It doesn't not dad he put. It will be capital D for dear, capital D for dad. And so that they do them. So when you're writing, when you're introducing the recipient of your letter, you have to ensure that the letters for each of the words appears in capital letter, just the way you did for your address. So the D is going to be capital D. The F is the recipient wherever you're writing to. You also need to write their name in capital, just the first letter. But not be saying me go to write that like capital D, capital A, capital D. No go turn out to war. That one a war. It's just only the first letter, not everything. Only the first letter. And after that, you need a comma. You need a comma. Now, just those two things you need to remember about that one. Then the next thing, paragraphing. If we see what this guy do now, he puts on for paragraphs. Everything is not muddled up. And he may now want to ask, can I also skip a line when I'm writing? Well, why I go give you extra sheets? Yeah, it did. But you cannot decide to use the indented. I can see the camera again. Just check check it. Adjust your internet gospel. All right. You can use the indented form. That one I be say you can all leave small space. You know how they did do that kind paragraph, won't go leave small space. But if you don't want to do that one, you can do what this guy has done. We call it the line space method. So you can use a line to represent a paragraph, just like this person has done. Yeah, it's correct. No wala. It's okay. So since it's a letter writing, let's even read what the guy has done. And after that, we'll come go tell you the other things. I've spoken about the address. I've also spoken about the introduction of the recipients. Okay, so we've seen, so the guy, through the guy's letter, we're also learning how to write. We've talked about some of the nice things that guy did. He wrote his address well. He positioned it well. He used his letter case well. Okay. He also didn't forget to write a date. Those things make sense. All right. He said, I hope this letter finds you in the best of health and spirits. No wala. First and foremost, I want to thank you for always being there for me and investing so much in my future. Your sacrifices and guidance have shaped who I am today, and I will always be grateful for your unwavering support. However, I would like to respectfully express my thoughts concerning my university education abroad and share with you some important reasons why I believe studying abroad is the best path for my academic and personal goals. Oh yeah, I see this guy. Here I did here. Now, what can we learn from this place? What I've just read is paragraph 1. What do you do in your paragraph? In your first paragraph? The first paragraph is where you get to express your greetings, appreciation. Don't forget an informal letter with a deal. Yeah, so not formal letter. You get to express your greetings, be greedy person. Thank them for what they don't do. Now, so you go join so that because you are looking at writing about 350 to 450 words. So now, so you go take John where everything will take plenty. Thank the person. I mean, there's no person you're writing to that you cannot find a reason to thank. I mean, somehow they would have done something for you. Even though it's a friend, you can actually express how invaluable their advice has been, how inspiring their companionship has been, how they have shaped your understanding. You know, even their company alone, what that's done for you. There's always something to thank people for. Yes, that's for formal. Yes, that's for formal letter. Yeah, but we're not teaching it today. But that's for formal letter. Yes. Okay. Now, in that same introductory paragraph, you have to talk to us about the purpose. Why they write now? You say, dear dad, which you want to tell him. You have been told that according to the question, what to tell him. All right, you're writing to him to tell him, Baba, me, I won't go school for abroad. No be Nigeria where they talk. And I have my reasons for saying so. You see, very interesting. That's what this guy has done. But if you look at it, he writes, he writes, he writes, he writes. He said the first trouble for learner is they're not able to meet the benchmark. There's an expected number of ways we hope you'll be able to turn up with. Some people may be wondering, Baba, it shows that they go count them. That's in a scam. Uh-uh. You just send a hand and they take count them. Uh-uh. There's that to know. It just be like money. You carry if you like carry if you carry 1 billion, go bank you. They go count them and no be hand now. What you go count them there? All right. So there's also an app. Word counter. What counter what counter will give us the number of words in this letter in less than 30 seconds. You don't even reach 1 minute. So it doesn't look like see how many people are waiting. What counter will give us the number of words in this thing in less than 1 minute? So you don't go spend 1 minute to know the number of words where you write. You don't go spend 1 minute. So you go know, and a serious matter. Which means you have to develop capacity for explanation. You must learn how to explain, 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 and explain. That said, I want you to believe that what you're writing also needs to be relevant and meaningful. Now, let's quickly summarize the introductory paragraph. After the dear, whoever you're writing to, the first thing is to thank them, greet them, and tell them why you're writing. That's it. Now, what will they do for introductory paragraph? All right, so you can use a mic or send a text. Let's be sure you got how to start your letter. After you have mentioned the name of the recipient, what next? Oh, the next thing now to greet, thank them, and tell them why I they write. So if you got that, you can jot it down. Okay, and please, you can also use the what's it called? You can text or use the or you can unmute. Let's be sure you got that before we proceed. Oh yeah, no, they would for. Did you get out the right introductory paragraph that I just explained? Okay, Motila said yes. So only Motila gets on. Okay, Lucas, David also said yes. Okay, that's okay. I'm sure that's two must have got it. Oh yeah, so let's move on. After this, we move to the second paragraph. The first paragraph is gone. Now we have the second paragraph. For the second paragraph, don't forget, this guy wants to provide reasons why his father should allow him to study abroad. And this guy, he has been told to write at least 3 reasons. So he can write 4, he can write 5. So that he's able to write more because he's expected to write about 350 words. The first, I don't know if I pronounce your name correctly. Please mute. All right. Firstly, getting admission to a reputable university overseas is a rare opportunity that I believe will open many doors for me. The institution I have been accepted into offers world-class facilities, a well-structured curriculum, and exposure to global standards education. Fosa, please mute your mic. If you don't know how to do that, you can ask some of your friends. This kind of academic environment will not only deepen my knowledge in my field of study, but also allow me to learn from professors who are internationally recognized experts. I think we're still having some background noise, but this time around it's not from a Fosa. So if there's anyone if there's anyone who is on who has not muted, please they should do that so that we don't destroy the quality of this recording. Okay. Now we don't read the first paragraph. Firstly, getting admission. What did the guy try to do? The guy did try to do what he questions to make him do. The question says he needs to explain to his father, try convince his father. So his first reason is universities abroad are more competitive. You know, their curriculum they different from our own. Their facilities they different from our own. The father you even school abroad will make you a hot cake when you're back to the country. So the guy it makes sense. Then he moves to the next paragraph. Secondly, what do you want to do for secondly again? Now, the second reason. Don't forget he has been told to at least give three reasons. If our three reasons feel not even be enough, based on the number of questions, the number of words the guy aims at, what does he need to do? He just needs to write another reason, fourth reason, fifth reason. I mean, as long as they allow you to write more. Secondly, living and studying in a foreign country will help me develop valuable life skills, such as independence, resilience, and adaptability. I will learn to navigate unfamiliar environments, communicate with people from diverse backgrounds, and become more self-sufficient. These skills will benefit me not just academically, but also personally and professionally. You see the second thing, and also it be, if you school overseas, your worldview, the way you're going to see life, will be different from a person who school for Nigeria. How you going to see life will be different. That's what this guy is saying. He's saying that that is going to tilt his worldview, how he sees things. Then the guy goes on. Thirdly, now so the guy just go gently, just go like that. Before you know, you don't finish the letter. He said, thirdly, an international degree. Oh, make I wait, sir. No one person even read. Who would like to volunteer to read the third one? We know be saying only be the now my voice, everything. If you want to volunteer to read the third one, please just submit and read it. Maybe after some seconds, nobody
Me, I want to
volunteers. I'll go
volunteer.
on. Okay, go ahead, please.
Thirdly,
You can read it. That's the top. Mhm.
thirdly, an international degree can open more doors for future career opportunities. Many employers today seek individuals or candidates who have international experience, global awareness, and the ability to adapt to various work environments. By studying abroad, I will be able to build a global network of contacts, take part of internship, and gain access of international job markets. Even if I return home after my study, I will be more valuable in the eyes of employers, and I will be in a better position to contribute to the development of the country with the knowledge and exposure I have gained.
Right.
Understanding
Thank you.
but
Thank you, Matsuna. Thank you very much. All right. If you look at what she has read to us, that's what the candidate has written. The thing that makes sense. It talks about future career opportunities. People who school abroad, they usually have that bright career opportunities because people respect them a lot. People believe they are well exposed, well skilled, and all of those things. In fact, they call them expatriate um, employees. All right, you have them across companies in Nigeria. Where they work, they pay them more because they believe they work like the whites. Okay, the guy is just trying, putting up more reasons and reasons just to get his father to allow him, and the reason they make sense. That's the way it works. You see, I didn't come to class by get my pen and I start writing. But by writing all of those things, no go mean say you don't learn how to write. But by using a student script, this one I don't write and I student write down. It should not help you to see. Now you go write with the inside. You are responsible for the contents. The teacher cannot train you to write the contents because the question will never be the same. When it's your turn to be tested, the question is going to be different. So you have to be the one to think differently, come up with your reasons, and then write about them, have details, try to, ensure that each of your paragraphs is well extended. You go write down, don't be saying you go write three sentences, say that paragraph, you don't do. Like somebody will say it has do. It has done now and nonsense. So if you just write like two sentences, okay, it has do like this, make I go another one. Baba, nah, the person know they do the right thing. You have to learn to write something that is well extended. You go write, and it doesn't mean you have to be writing nonsense. You have to make sure. If you look at what she read the other time, if I since the beginning, when would you read this guy letter? The letter it makes sense. No lie. It's actually making sense. Relevant ideas, relevant supporting details, and he's writing well. The guy is doing his best. Now, another paragraph. I understand your desire to keep. The guy is still trying. Is out. So this is like the fourth um, idea or the fourth point is bringing up to convince his father. I understand your desire to keep me close and your concern for my safety and well-being. However, I assure you that I am fully committed to my education and I will remain focused, responsible, and in regular contact. I see this opportunity not as a way to distance myself from home, but as a way to become more capable and prepared to give back to our family and society. The guys have a think. In ideas make sense. So he has given four reasons and he explained them well. Now, which means you should also do the same thing. You can write four reasons or five. The truth is, three will not be enough unless you want to. Yeah, you don't want to be, you don't want to be sincere with yourself. Three will not be enough. You may need to write four. You may need to write five, and you need to explain them well. How do I explain them? You won't go about now. Now you don't know what you talk. Whatever the question is, you have the responsibility. You just have to think about it. Okay, is the content. You have to think about it and then you write. Now, the last thing, this guy said, thank you once again for everything you have done for me. I hope you will consider my reasons and support me in this important decision. That's what you call it closing. That is this, that is the first paragraph. That's the last paragraph. We call it the closing paragraph. The guy they say, I don't finish, me and they go. The closing paragraph. Okay? Then he signed out. Just faithfully. John Samuel. Now, the mistake where the guy come to, like you say, you don't end such a letter with faithfully. Okay? You can end it with sincerely, best regards, warm regards. You can use cheers. It's a letter to your dad. Hey, you're your papa to be great. You only say cheers. Okay? All right. So just sincerely, that makes a lot of sense. Then this kind of letter, you're not supposed to include your surname. Don't be a papa in the right way. You don't know how you know to your surname. Uh-huh. So this kind of letter, you're not supposed to include your surname. You got to tell her again, say John Samuel, he knows that he born you. So you just need your name only. Okay, that kind of logic also matters. Now, we don't finish the letter with the guy right, and we don't learn how to write small letter. But there's still more. that we need to discuss. I'm also aware this class is going to run for. In fact, it was even supposed to. I think I booked 1 hour, but I'll make it run for 1 hour 30 minutes. So just like 20 minutes now, we go round up. Everybody goes. The time don't go. All right, but let's just see what we need to learn. So relax. In case you're already worried, you need to go sleep and all of those things. Don't worry. That's 20 minutes. Now everybody can go. We say are supposed to don't go sleep. Now, the structure of an informal letter. If first of all, write informal letter, we don't see sample. How are you supposed to go drum? The first thing is to write. So I have prepared the structure, the order, or the sequence. The first thing to do is to write your address. The address will be if you did read, if you imagine now, no while. I've told you what you need to pay attention to when you're writing your address. Pay attention to the placement, the capitalization, and the punctuation. After that, the next thing is salutation. Who they write to? You also need to be mindful of the capitalization and the punctuation. You need to remember what you need to do for capital letter and what you need to get what you need to get comma, where to place them. That's it. Then opening paragraph. In your opening paragraph, that place, you can start by you greet small, let the person know why you're writing, play around. Play around. I mean, it's a close person, it's a friend you're writing to, maybe your pal. All right. If you see your friend, no matter what you and I won't talk, and I'll go first place more gist. So play around a little bit. Okay. Remind the person of, oh, the last time we go beach, I really enjoy and da, 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 da. Okay, I don't oh yeah, make I go tell you why they write. Stuff like that really works. All right, dear Daniel. All right, I'm very happy to write to you, but I hope you don't forget that the last experience we had at the beach was really memorable. Thank you for finding time to talk to me at the beach. Your word really lifted my soul, and I'm now a changed person. Thank you. I'm actually writing to let you know. You see, every time that I'm waiting to, even though that's thing I just imagine, so a lot of imagination, creativity will come inside. All right, don't be saying girl go straight. Dear Daniel, I'm writing to tell you, oh boy, it will quick finish. Oh. If you start out like that, you don't go really get much to write, and there might be some trouble for you. And that's not even the way to write. Culturally, when we write to our friends, we need to engage them before we get into details. Then after that one, you will come start to discuss your points. Your first reason paragraph. Okay, what will be the first reason? You write small. Second reason, you write small. Third reason, fourth reason, you write. In case you want to write fifth reason, which is also optional. You know the guy he wrote four paragraphs or he gave 4 reasons. You can give 5. You can give 4. Okay, just make sure that you've been able to write um, beyond the benchmark. Okay, and after that, the closing paragraph. The closing paragraph is the briefest. You just read the guy small. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, sorry, the closing, just like thank you, something like that. And then how do you sign out? It's an informal letter. Yours sincerely. If you write all this one down now, just sincerely, best wishes, um, cheers, regards, lots of love. If you write them down. Anyway, you will still get the opportunity to watch this video again so you can learn all of those things. Now, we have seen the structure. Let's now go. What did this guy do well gone for this letter? Maybe say myself, I need to imitate. And what did the guy not try so that I could feel avoidant? Praises for the letter above. What did the guy do will make sense? Number one, his address is fine. Good address placement. He knows where to place the address, where to use its punctuation and its capital letter. 2, good paragraphing. The guy paragraph, everything just stays sequential in paragraphs. So you don't have to toggle your paragraphs. You don't have to toggle your word. You need to put them in paragraphs, space them out. You need to space them out. Then number three, effective paragraph writing. In paragraph makes sense. Once it picks up a paragraph, it discusses only one reason. Don't be saying you go pick one paragraph, put four reasons there. No. What the guy does is to discuss a reason per paragraph. If he pick one paragraph, now only one reason he go there, they talk about a reason. So that means if he has written four paragraphs, he has written four solid reasons. Okay, so that's something very beautiful about this guy's write-up. And you should do the same thing. Good grammar and the right choice of words and expressions. The guy tried for grammar. At least we know the same mistake. Where you're supposed to use is, you know, use was. Where you're supposed to use do, you know, use did. Good grammar. You use a position where you command in full stop, you use them well. Then good choice of words. He also chose his words carefully. Okay. Then number five, appropriate style and tone. Appropriate style and tone. The way the guy takes the sound for dying letter. We realize say, indeed, nine pop C they follow talk. Now, this is one thing about tone. Tone is very important. There's a way you talk to your friend, and there's a way you talk to your teacher. Take, for example, let's think about, let's create this setting. You have your phone on the table, and you're sitting in a place that's a little bit farther from where you're seated. Now you need a phone, and you say, give me the phone. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Well, that's okay if you're talking to someone younger or even to your friend. But let's assume the person you wanted to give you that phone was your teacher. You wouldn't want to say, give me the phone. You rather want to say, please, can you help me with the phone? So you see the difference. So there is a way to sound when you're talking to your friends, and there is a way to sound when you're talking to somebody else. That's what we call tone. So you are expected to sound accordingly. If you're writing to your friend, the way we friends they talk, now you make you sound. If you're writing to your parents, the way we person and your parent they talk, now you make you sound. If you're writing to your neighbor, the way we person and your neighbor they take talk, then you take sound. That's what we call style. And then so that's what we call tone. Now, for concerning style, now informal letter begins. There's what you call informal style. Informal style means, as I said, I don't be tired. Informal style means this material, you shall be laughing. What's happening? You don't want me to retire. My small time now, midnight will come. Teacher don't try me. Teacher get what I get picking, supposed to don't sleep. Okay. So when we talk about the style means that there's a way you write when you're talking to your friend, and there's a way you write when you're talking to somebody else. Now, if you're writing an informal letter, you need to use an informal style. What do they call informal style? Now, we say you need to sound casual or sound conversational. There's a way friends talk to each other. So they're writing a letter to your friend. You need to sound like that while you write it. Two, you need to use contractions. Contractions are like abbreviations. Can't instead of cannot. Now letter to your friend. You don't need to be serious. Nobody can go greet your friend with suit. So it's a letter to your friend. You need to use you need to lighten up. Use contractions. I don't know what to do. It's better than I do not know what to do. It's a letter to your friend. Use contractions. Very important. Number three, this third one now. You should also try, if you can use incomplete sentences sometimes. For example, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow is an incomplete sentence. The full sentence is, I will see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow looks like the smaller version. You need to do something like that when you're writing a casual letter. If the letter is not, it's not a serious one, you need to do something like that. Then, so that's about contractions. You can read more about it if you go online, Google, watch YouTube video about informal styles so that you can learn more. Good use of linking words. What do they call linking words? You see those words where the guy they use. Firstly, secondly, thirdly, then airports. You know, those things airports. You don't make that you know they confusing. It didn't help us. Oh, we don't want it they talk the first one. The guy say firstly. It really help us, you know. So as a writer, you need to help your reader. You need to think about your reader well. Oh, my reader, I want me to understand what they write. And one of the ways you can make it easier for them, your job is to make it easier for them. It's just the way I'm teaching now. You see, they try to make it day easier. And they speak PG, they do this one, they do this one. If you're saying at normal level, we say I speak like Oyinbo, but we don't need. So you need to make it easier for the readers. Okay, and one of the ways to make it easier for your readers is to use discourse markers on linking words. Firstly, secondly, lastly, however, you know, stuff like that. You can do research about it, find out about linking words, so you are able to use them appropriately. Good use of collocations, where collocation has to do with using the right two words together. For example, question 4 is very simple. Question 4 is so simple. Is it so simple or very simple? Question 4 is so simple. Okay, or very simple. When we talk about the word simple, we use more of so with simple. That's collocation. Then this one also makes sense. Use of adjectives and adverbs to qualify nouns. You see that guy try. He used a lot of adjectives. Let's go back to his write-up. The guy tried. When you use adjectives and adverbs, you make it easier for your reader. Okay. If you look at the first paragraph, the guy says, I will always be grateful for your unwavering support. That unwavering is an adjective telling you that it did better than I will always be grateful for your support. For your support, not to try. So if you want to get more marks, you need to learn how to use adjectives. So if you say look at, if you say look at where you know be bad person, you're gonna say this expression sounds better. I will always be grateful for your unwavering support. It sounds better than I will always be grateful for your support. That unwavering last song, you get what you do. You make that thing more interesting. That's an adjective. So we expect you to use adjectives a lot. Look at that same paragraph 1. He said, my university education abroad and share with you important reasons. That word important is an adjective. Not share with you reasons. That important is an adjective. It can't make the thing data. Look at the last line of the first paragraph. Why I believe studying abroad is the best path for my academic and personal growth. Not just studying abroad is the best path for my growth. That one don't tap reach for my academic and personal growth. That one is more interesting. Okay. So you have it, you also have adverbs in this. For example, if you look at the second paragraph, the guy says, um, field of study, but also allow me to learn from professors who are internationally recognized, internationally, adverb. All these things, they matter, that they make the writing sound very interesting. So these are the good things the guy has done. We're almost running off because I know we need to go. Meaningful content. Where did the guy write this solid? It makes sense. A wide sentence range. If we go back to that writer, you have short sentences, you also have long sentences. When you write, you need to ensure you use the different types of sentences: simple, compound, and complex, short and long. You see, they make sense. Now, areas of improvement. What see the guy not to try for it. The salutation, we've talked about that. Dear dad, not dear father. Contraction, the guy not to use contractions. It's a letter to his dad. He should have used more contractions. That is, contractions means the smaller version, like don't instead of do not. Okay, and anecdotes. Some why the guy the write letter. If you try give example, include a story. An anecdote is a story. If they make the right itself, they solid. Then using of interrogative sentence, even though now one, it make it this solid too. Then how to sign out. Sign out appropriately. If you're confused or you don't know where how to sign out an informal letter, you can tell me. How to sign out a formal letter, and all of those things. Now, we don't try for that guy. The guy don't try. Now, lastly, these are our recommendations. Now, the last one we did, we don't go. We recommend that when you want to deal or attack an informal letter, read the question and ensure you understood it well. Okay, let me allow one of you to read this. Now, the last one with us. We don't close. Okay, so who's going to volunteer here? The recommended approach. How should we approach our letter writing? Who is helping us?
Recommended
Now,
approach. Read the question and ensure you understood it. Determine whether the letter is informal or formal. Come up with 6 reasons to be used in your letter. Remind yourself of the letter structure. Begin your letter. Check the spark at the end of every paragraph. Spark represents spelling, punctuali punctualization, oh Jesus, punctua
punctuation.
punctuation and
Mhm.
grammar. Continue with your writing, finish off and edit your letter.
Thank you. So that's it. You're going to do the same thing there. Now this letter will come put there. More take practice. They're easy to mark everything, but at least I could try so that I could feel on address. I don't go mention people name, so try write and submit them. So what we go do for that next class? Which one I write? We just think okay. From all of the lectures, I've checked them. I noticed these challenges. I will try to correct them. No do this one. Now like this are the drum. That's just what it's gonna be. And when next you need to deal with that question, you want to write, you now write it better because you have some recommendations that are solid. Okay. But we get our assignment with that too. You can write it down. Though we're gonna post it on the group WhatsApp. But if you also want to write it down, you want to screenshot. If you still screenshot them, that's also faster. Oh yeah. And I go use on our mic now. We don't finish. We try. So we try. David, we try. Martina, we try. Lucas, I mean, we again. Golden, we again, sir. So
Yes,
we
I
did
will
there
try.
whenever I mention them, and I had ghost time. Nah, I don't remember. So we don't try. So
Thank you,
over
sir.
to you now. You already have your time. All right, my friend. Mona no son for it. Mona try right. Now so it go be small, 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 small. God go help everybody. God no go shame us, but don't try. So so we're gonna round off now. Okay, and you have the opportunity to watch this video again and again. Please do learn, share the knowledge with your friends. You can even write a letter together. I mean, what are going to show ourselves? Say no, don't be so. You know, John, where like this. You can also you can also put your questions together in case you have some questions. Something not today clear. Papa come ask me, we will tell you. No be, you know, the person knows something not clear. I know why now. No be something not clear, no clear with that now. Now to explain. So there's nothing like maybe the teacher is going to laugh at this for waiting now. Why could we do how many years ago? So laugh for waiting. What we said, do we know Sabia, you know, but then so you just have to share the knowledge with people. All right, nobody go laugh for anybody unless the person not this serious. Now learn with the left. Anybody does Sabia, we don't go come class. So you have some trouble, you're not too sure, don't keep it to yourself. If you can't say it, maybe in a class like this, you can send it on WhatsApp or just find a way. Me, if I did that WhatsApp, my number did there. If you just find a way, say, okay, you don't understand this thing, I will tell you. So we don't try. All right, so thank you everybody for coming around. I'll see us in our next session by God's grace. Let's say next session or next week. All right, so I'll let you guys go now. All right, bye bye. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So, thank you, everyone.